So time. Time is a really important thing to think about when it comes to learning, and knowing what your schedule is going to be like and how you're going to find the time in order to get everything done that you need to get done and learn what you need to learn in the amount of time that you have. So often when it comes to school, we can feel like there's lots to get done. It's hard to focus. We don't have enough time for everything in our lives. Or we have a lot of time, but we need to stay motivated in that leisure time. So there's going to be a series of tools for time management and learning that we go over. There are lots of tools. This is just a taste of them. So we're going to start with looking at our smartphones, and online calendars are the most obvious place to start for our schedule. We always have our phones with us, most of us. And so you can have reminders and lists and the actual calendar. You can use Gmail or Yahoo or Outlook calendars, but really learning to use your phone calendar if you have not already done so. There are also millions of apps to help you stay focused and on task. Forest is one that's kind of interesting. You plant a tree. So you say, okay, for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to really focus on my reading. And you plant a 20-minute tree. In the next 20 minutes, it starts to grow. Now, if you pick up your phone and switch and check your email or your Facebook or your Instagram during that 20 minutes, the tree dies. The harder you work, the more trees grow in your forest. And it's a point system. When you get enough points, this app will actually donate a live tree in a real forest somewhere in the world for you. So this is just one example of the creative kind of apps that are out there to help you stay focused on learning. So there are also habit tracker apps. So having habits and good habits and helping change our bad habits is a huge part of learning and of attaining our goals in life. So you can have an app that tracks whether you're flossing your teeth every day and you made it to school all 5 days and you're not eating sugar and you're drinking less coffee, or whatever, you're going to the gym, whatever it is that you're trying to create the habit of or break the habit of, habit apps can help you keep track of it and also create a reward system for good habits. There are also many timer apps, so you can have a bell that goes off every 15 minutes that reminds you to come back to your studying, or something that happens every hour to allows you to take a break. This is something I personally use in my life a lot, and it's a game changer. Another cool thing that you can do with your phone, if you are the type of person that needs to hear things, is you can record audio or video. So you can record your own voice with a reminder and have an app that reads it aloud to you at a certain time of day so you remember to do that thing. You can record lectures or video lectures. So you can be very creative in the audio-visual aspects of your phone if that's how you learn best. So just as a summary, we want to be smart about our smartphones. Use them as a tool to make us smarter. So there are lots of apps to help you stay focused and organized. There's a lot of apps to help you study and learn. There are online calendars, so you always have them with you. We want to be professional with our phones at all times. So this means learning when to use them and when not to. So pick up your phone to research, to learn a new vocab word, great. Don't pick up your phone to check Facebook in the middle of the lecture. It will distract you and you will learn less. So use it well. Don't ever let your phone stop your learning. It should help you improve your learning. And then pay attention to when the connection with the outside world, your online social network or reading the news, there are times that maybe will help you feel better. And there's times if you're super stressed out that it's just going to make you feel worse and more overwhelmed. So be smart about that and don't check your phone when you know that you're already overwhelmed. But even in this digital age of smartphones, not everybody has a smartphone, and that's totally fine because it's actually better to write it down. There's a lot of research that shows when you have a physical pen or pencil or marker in your hand, you are more likely to remember it It helps your brain visualize. It uses more parts of your brain and your neural network. It boosts your creativity. And these are all things that increase your learning and increase your likelihood of memorizing something. So if you're trying to remember what you need to get done, or you're trying to remember what you learned, you're actually much better off writing it down on a pen and paper notebook. So schedule planner is an excellent way for time management in terms of writing down. You can keep it very simple. This is what my boyfriend, who is not the schedule kind of person guy, but he keeps this because it really helps him stay sane and remember all the things I've asked him to do. Here is another schedule that we'll look at just briefly. There's a hint. This is somebody in our building schedule. And the more creative you get with these schedules, the more likely you are to remember. So it's very popular now to have like scheduled journals, and people write little quotes that help you get through your day, like "Life is tough, my darling, but so are you," or "Big things often have small beginnings." So if you're needing to have motivation throughout your day to remember why you came back to school, or remember why you're at your job, or why you're doing anything you're doing, you can write in all kinds of creative, inspirational quotes. And the more colors you use and the more creativity you have, it also shows that you are more likely to remember those things and to stay on task. You can also use written schedules to create routines. So here somebody has written out their morning routine, their nighttime routine, and a reminder of why to use the routine. And routines are actually a very good way to create stability and sanity in our lives and help us stay healthy. There's actually research shows that having healthy routines really can drastically improve our overall quality of life. They're also great for children and make children feel safe. And when children feel safe, they are more likely to learn as well. So while we're on the topic of writing things down, if you make organized handwritten notes, get creative, make doodles, use colors, put sticky notes, write quotes, bold things, the more visually stimulating you make it and take time to write it down well, the more likely you are to actually remember that information, and it will increase your learning. So when you are in class in the coming semester, you want to make sure that every day you are writing things down, regardless of the teacher's talking, or you're watching a video, or you're working in a group, or you're reading something. You should be writing while you are doing all of these other activities. And the same applies here. Actually, art and creativity and visual expression can really increase your learning and your memory of what happened in class that day. So feel free to be creative in your notes. Even in math class, here's somebody who has made very colorful math notes. So think about creating an organizational system that will help you remember the key parts, even in a class like math. So just to recap, you want to make sure that you have an organizational system, whatever that is. It doesn't have to be the things that we looked at here today, but you want to make sure you have a calendar, you know your schedule, and you have set routines, and then you have support and tools to help you follow them. It's very hard to do it without that, and sometimes it may look like magic that some people are just naturally organized. They most likely at one point in time taught themselves that through an organizational system. Granted, some people it's easier than others. So know yourself and know how to have tools to help support you. And be smart about your smartphone. So make sure that your smartphone is helping you learn. Use it for reminders and notifications and as rewards for staying focused. Use it to research and learn vocabulary, or use all the different kind of learning and focus apps. Don't let it impede your learning and be a distraction, as they often are. Use the audio and video on your cell phone. Record it and listen later. So yourself talking or your teacher talking, if you're the type of person that needs to hear it. And very importantly, learn to write things down. All the research shows that we're so much more likely to remember it if we write it down. The more creative we get, the better. But even if you're not into colors and notes and quotes and pictures, at least keep it simple and have your schedule written down, especially at a time of change in your schedule. So if you're coming back to classes and you suddenly have a new schedule, at least in the first few weeks or first month, make sure you have things written down. And this also applies to getting in the habit of making sure you're always taking handwritten notes in class, no matter what is going on. If you're listening to a lecture or you are watching a video or reading something, we really want to also have handwritten notes. And so that's a summary of a few tips and tricks that you can use for time management, concentration, and learning. There are many, many, many more, but we encourage you to at least use one of them this coming semester.